Do you know what nobody warns you about? You can survive a lot, and somewhere along the way, you start becoming somebody that you really don't want to be. Maybe you become a little bit more guarded, a little more cynical, less trusting, huh? Does that sound right? And maybe you even become a little less excited about things. Some of that wisdom, you've earned it. But I do think that there is a difference between becoming wiser and becoming hardened. Because life is going to teach you how to be tough. You don't really have to work at that. But staying gentle, staying curious, and still loving people, still laughing, and still getting ridiculously excited about little things, even after you've lived long enough to know how messy this world can be, that takes a different kind of strength. So today, beautiful rebels, we are talking about something that I think is worth fiercely protecting. And it's your softness. Because the world doesn't get to take the most beautiful parts of you just because you've learned how to survive it. If you're here, welcome to the Beautiful Rebellion. This is a podcast brought to you by Elevator.com for those of us who are looking to move through this life a little differently. We talk about aging, identity, mindset, beauty, and what it means to stay connected to yourself in the middle of all this noise. And not to become someone else or chase some impossible version of what's considered perfection. Yeah. But to keep discovering the beauty of who you already are. And today, that means we're talking about how to hold on to our softness in a world that can make that really hard to do. You know, what I've been thinking about lately is how much effort it really does take to stay soft in this world. And when I say soft, I don't mean weak. I don't mean letting people walk all over you, and I don't mean smiling politely while somebody's treating you like shit. No, absolutely not. I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about that gentleness that's inside of you, your warmth, your ability to care, your ability to trust. How about your sense of wonder? The part of you that can still be moved by something beautiful, and the part of you that gets ridiculously excited over something. Or even about the part of you that still believes that people can be good. Because the longer you live, the more opportunities you're going to have to lose bits and pieces of that. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to. I really don't. Because this world is a tough place to live, right? Let's go down the list of how difficult it is. Okay. People disappoint you. Things don't work out. You get your heart broken. You lose people. You get screwed over. You work your ass off for something and something still doesn't happen. You go through seasons, and while you're trying to take care of everybody else, you're sitting around quietly wondering, who's going to take care of me? And through all of that, you learn how to survive. You get tougher. You get smarter. You learn boundaries. You learn when to walk away, and you learned when to stand up and say, absolutely not. I am the first person that is going to say, I'm a big fan of that. Here's the thing that I've been thinking about, though. There is a difference between becoming stronger and becoming hardened. And I think we have to be very careful about that line. You can protect yourself without losing yourself. I think somewhere along the way, some of us have learned that toughness was the goal. Don't cry. Don't care too much. Don't let anybody know that something has bothered you. Don't trust too easily. Don't get too excited because you might be disappointed. Don't let your guard down. Keep moving. And sometimes, absolutely, the survival mode serves a purpose. There are times in life when you put your armor on because you need the damn armor. But I don't want to live in it. I don't want my permanent address to be survival mode USA, right? Because armor can protect you from being hurt. But if you never take it off, eventually it starts keeping out some of the things you were trying to stay alive for in the first place. What are those things? Connection, love, wonder, affection, laughter, curiosity. Feel how uplifting that is? Just these terms alone feel uplifting. How about being completely ridiculous with somebody that you love because you feel safe and you can be a little silly? Those tiny moments when you look around and think, man, life is actually pretty beautiful right now. And I don't want to lose my ability to experience those things because I've spent so much time preparing myself and protecting myself for the next bad thing. And interestingly, there's some psychology behind this. Okay, so there's this term. It's called psychological flexibility. Ooh, fancy. And don't worry, I'm not going to turn this into some kind of college lecture. But in our language, psychological flexibility is basically our ability to experience difficult thoughts and emotions without allowing them to completely dictate what we do or who we become. And I love that idea because essentially it's saying life can affect me without owning me. I can be hurt without becoming cruel. I can be disappointed without becoming cynical. That's a hard one, right? I can be afraid without allowing fear to make every decision that I make. And I can go through something incredibly difficult and still decide what kind of person I want to be on the other side of it all. Research has connected greater psychological flexibility with better well-being and resilience. So maybe strength isn't becoming unaffected by life, because that's pretty much impossible anyway, right? Maybe strength is being affected by life, learning from it, and still choosing exactly who it is that you want to be. Be careful what life turns you into. And I think this is something that we don't talk enough about. We spend a lot of time talking about all the things that have happened to us, and that's pretty important. But maybe once in a while, we should always ask, what is what happened to me turning me into? Because sometimes we survive the thing, and a lot of times we lose little pieces of ourselves along the way. We lose trust, we lose curiosity, playfulness, compassion, willingness to love, our ability to give someone the benefit of the doubt, or genuinely just be happy for someone else. We lose our tenderness. And I'm not suggesting you should actually be the same person you were before maybe shit hit the fan. No, that's kind of impossible because you grow through that. You evolve. But please stop touching the hot stove, right? We don't need to learn the same lesson 47 times in order to stay soft. Soft does not mean stupid. It doesn't mean that you're gullible, and it doesn't mean that everybody gets access to you. And it doesn't mean that you can tolerate bad behavior. You can have the gentlest heart in the room and still have a very sturdy front door. Actually, I think boundaries are one of the ways that we protect our gentleness. Because if you continually allow people to drain you, disrespect you, use you, or walk all over you, your resentment is going to start creeping in, whether you realize it or you're like, no, I won't. Yes, you will, because you're human. And resentment is really good at turning loving people into angry people. Sometimes saying no isn't mean. Sometimes saying no is how you make sure you still like humanity. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes saying no is how you make sure you still like humanity. And the other half of it, right? You don't have to be tough on yourself. And that's a part that we overlook, how we treat ourselves. Some of us are incredibly compassionate towards everybody else and absolutely ruthless with ourselves. We would never talk to somebody we love the way that we talk to ourselves. Would you? Would you talk to somebody else the way you talk to yourself? Just curious. You should be further along. You screwed that up. Why can't you get your shit together? Everybody else seems to know what they're doing. You should have known better. And sometimes we've convinced ourselves that this internal ass-kicking is what keeps us moving. But there's some really interesting research around self-compassion. Okay? Studies have found that self-compassion practices can reduce things like stress and anxiety and improve how people cope with difficult experiences. Which means being gentle with yourself isn't necessarily what's making you less capable of handling life. It may actually be the part of what allows you to keep handling it. I love that. Because toughness doesn't always have to sound like, get up, suck it up, keep moving. And I get it, because I do it to myself too. But sometimes Toughness can sound like that hurt. I'm disappointed. I'm exhausted. I need a minute. I'm going to take care of myself. And then I'm going to keep going. And that's strength too. Maybe more than what we give it credit for. In my deep dive for this episode, I was also looking about kindness. Kindness doesn't just go outward, right? There is also research showing something else that I found fascinating that I wanted to share with you, is that kindness and compassion don't only benefit the person receiving them, they benefit the person giving them too. Research looks at acts of kindness has found improvements in the well-being of the person actually doing the kind thing. A huge believer in that. Honestly, here's the thing. When I'm not feeling so great, I seek to give kindness to somebody else because it helps me feel really good in this chaotic world. It's so true. Think about that for a second. Your kindness isn't just something you're giving away. It's part of the environment you're creating inside yourself. Every time you choose kindness when you could choose cruelty instead, you could choose curiosity over contempt, grace over bitterness. You're deciding what kind of person gets to live inside your own head. And you have to live with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You might as well make yourself somebody you can actually enjoy hanging out with. I want to make this very clear because I can already hear some of you thinking, okay, BrookeLynn, that's all great. But what about when somebody deserves to be told to go F themselves, right? There are exceptions to every rule. There are things that are worth getting angry about. There are times that anger is incredibly useful because it's telling you something's not right here. There are moments when you do need to stand your ground. There are moments when you need to say no. There are moments when somebody needs to hear exactly what you're thinking. Gentleness is not silence. Kindness isn't compliance. Softness doesn't mean unlimited access. You can still be compassionate and still say, hey, you can't treat me like that. You can care about somebody and still leave. You can love someone and still have boundaries. You can genuinely wish somebody well from way over there. Wish them well. That's totally allowed. The goal isn't becoming a human doormat. The goal is becoming strong enough that you don't have to become cruel in order to feel powerful. That's a huge difference. We can get really good at being ready for battle. There is some super fascinating research looking at compassion and our body's regulation system. And you know me, I love to look at feelings and the science. So that's what Elevator is all about, right? Science, spirituality, the whole thing, all of it's combined, but understanding the balance of them both. And there's some fascinating research here that I want to share with you. Researchers, they have found an association between compassion and heart rate variability, which is related to our nervous system and how it regulates and adapts. And I'm not going to go and pretend we're doing some huge neuroscience lecture here, but you need to know about this stuff and be aware of it. And I'm going to give you my takeaway. Our bodies know something about the difference between constantly being prepared for battle and being able to return to a feeling of safety. And I wonder how many of us have gotten so good at surviving that we've forgotten how to come back. Something happens. Armor on, right? Something else happens. Another layer of armor. Somebody hurts us. Another layer. Something doesn't work out. Another layer. And eventually, you've built this incredibly effective fortress. Congratulations. Now nobody can get in. But here's the problem. Neither can you get out. And that's not freedom either. The beautiful you can get lost in the beautiful chaos. There are seasons of life where you're going to lose sight of yourself a little bit. You're surviving something, you're building something, you're losing something, you're taking care of somebody, you're raising people, you're losing people, you're starting all over, you're trying to keep your family together, you're trying to keep your business together, you're trying to keep yourself together. You're trying to figure out what the hell comes next. Life gets loud. I know. And sometimes The beautiful you gets lost in the beautiful chaos of life. And I think that something happens to more of us than we realize. Maybe the answer isn't always becoming some brand new, tougher, shinier, more evolved version of ourselves. Maybe it's sometimes the rebellion is simply just remembering yourself. Maybe that's the beautiful rebellion here. Remembering that you laugh loudly, and remembering what makes you curious, and remembering that you do love people. Remembering that you do like to stop and look at that beautiful sky sometimes, and that you get excited about completely ridiculous things. And remembering that music that makes you dance around your kitchen and be ridiculous. And remembering that somebody else's success doesn't threaten yours. And believing that people can still be good. Remember that despite everything you've seen, experienced, lived, that you still want to be one of the good ones. And that's not naivete, especially at this point in our lives. We've seen some shit, right? You and me, we've seen some shit. We know. But we're choosing tenderness anyway. There's the difference. Anyone can become cynical. Honestly, look, the world gives us plenty of material to become that. Open your phone for 5 minutes. You'll find something to be pissed off about. Something that you're supposed to fear, hate, buy. You're supposedly doing something wrong. Ugh, gosh, it's like a noise, right? It's a noise machine on those phones. It's exhausting. And that's part of why I call this the beautiful rebellion. Because sometimes the most rebellious thing you can do in a world that's constantly trying to scare you, divide you, sell to you, distract you, and make you cynical is to remain yourself. Stay curious, stay playful, stay kind, stay open, laugh loud, get excited. Make something, call your friend, tell somebody that they look beautiful, pet your dog, dance in the kitchen, stop and watch a sunset, let yourself feel, give a shit. This is the strength in giving a shit. Listen, beautiful rebels, and I'm also telling myself this at the same time. Life is going to toughen parts of you. Let it. Become wiser, become discerning. Learn when to walk away, learn when to stand your ground, and learn when to say no. Don't give this world everything. Don't give it your wonder and your tenderness unless a part of it has deserved it. Don't let this world take the gentlest parts of you and convince you that that's a weakness. Surviving this world is one thing, but surviving this wild, chaotic, beautiful, completely bizarre world and somehow still remaining beautifully you, that's the rebellion. So protect that softness of yours. It isn't something that you need to grow out of. It's something worth holding on to. And maybe today, just check in with yourself. Don't ask, am I tough enough? You've already proven that. Ask, have I gotten so busy surviving that I'm starting to lose some of my softness? If the answer is yes, then maybe you don't need to reinvent yourself. Maybe you just need to go find that part of you again. Beautiful rebels, thank you so much for spending this time with me. And if there's one thing I hope you take away from this episode, it's this. You can be strong without becoming hardened. You can have boundaries without losing your tenderness. And you can learn from life without letting it turn you into somebody that you don't even recognize. So protect the parts of you that are still curious, still kind, still hopeful, still willing to laugh. Still willing to be moved by something beautiful, because those parts of you, that's not weakness. They are a part of the beauty of you. This is BrookeLynn, founder of Elevator and host of The Beautiful Rebellion. You can always find more on elevator.com. And if this episode feels like something you needed today, please subscribe and come back for the next one. Until then, stay soft, stay beautifully rebellious, and keep discovering the beauty of you.